Hey, everybody. Welcome to our live stream. If you're watching this live, hello, it is nice to see you. And if you're watching this on the catch up, thank you very much for catching up. We have a lot of live streams here to watch on the catch up. I have just got back from South Korea. I took a cruise with Norwegian from Tokyo. It was 20 degrees hotter than it is here in England at the moment. So I do have my cup of tea. I do have my electric blanket. And we're going to do a general cruise Q&A today. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I do also have details about how you can win a cruise, which is very exciting. I've never had this much power before, so that's very, very cool. And I do have some Black Friday. It's Black Friday, can you believe it? Black Friday discounts for you. So if you do have a question, can you please start it with question, just so that I can pick them out of the chat, and I will do my best to answer as many as I can. I am now back in the time zone. I'm sort of settled back in, but the cold is really a bit of a struggle. I have tried something new, and I have tried screen recording my screen and adding it as if it's a person. So we're going to see if this works. But I thought I'd try something new. I've been doing these live streams. We started in March of 2020, and I have not really pressed any new buttons. I've not tried anything new. So we're going to try that. But what I have done, please bear with me if this doesn't work. Hopefully you'll still be able to hear me. But what I have done is I have added in here something that I have recorded. Hopefully this works. Okay. So can you see this? Let me know if you can see this. So this is me showing you my most recent cruise on our sort of test version of the cruise globe. So there you can see my itinerary. Isn't that amazing? Norwegian Spirit. We went from Tokyo down to a couple of the Japanese islands and ended in South Korea. So 9-hour time difference. Absolutely fantastic. By the way, if the quality of this is not great, it is because I'm doing this through a third party. It is not a reflection on the actual tool, but you can see that. Yeah, I thought I would record it because I don't trust myself to do things live, but here you go. You can see Mount Fuji. We went to see Mount Fuji. Actually could see it. There were no clouds and no fog. There you go. Very, very cool. Very cool. I love that. It is cool, isn't it? That's pretty neat. That's cool. Yeah, so hopefully when I come back from a cruise now, I can actually show you where I went rather than me trying to describe it, because I'm not always so fantastic at remembering place names and stuff like that. The feed is clear. Fantastic. I'm so glad. We've had some Wi-Fi problems recently, so that is brilliant. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. Yes, press the buttons. My goodness. Yes. Hello, everybody who is in the chat. Thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, welcome back. Yes. What is the biggest difference of sailing in Asia compared to Europe or the US? I think it's interesting because I have cruised in Asia 3 times. The first time was with Princess, the second time was with Royal Caribbean, and then this time was with Norwegian. When I did it with Princess and Norwegian, most of the people who were on board were American, Canadian, Australian, British. It wasn't really very different on the actual cruise from any other cruise in Europe or the US. When I did the Royal Caribbean one, though, the highest place where people came from was Singapore. So we had about 2/3 people who were more local and 1/3 American, British, Australian, that kind of thing. So that changed things just slightly, as in they changed the ship. They took out the pub, for example, and they put in a tea room. That kind of thing. So yeah, that was slightly different. But this cruise that I just got off of, this Norwegian cruise, the food was the food that I've got very used to on my last 14 Norwegian cruises, I think, stuff like that. They would occasionally bring on, local food. Like we went to an island that grows tangerines. They would bring on some tangerines, stuff like that. But it's not really too different. We had a very port intensive cruise. So we only had 1 sea day and 9 ports. But yeah, if you like a cruise, in Europe or the US, you will like it in Asia. Your question covers the giveaway. I won't put a question up there. But yes, we are giving away a cruise, which is very, very exciting. I do have instructions on how to do that in the description. It's very, very easy, but we wanted your help. We really want your help. So recently I shared the Cruise Globe waitlist. That is the tool that I just showed you. But we want your help to get the message out about that. So If you sign up here, either you've already signed up or if you can put your email address in there, you will get a link that you can share. And every person who joins, that is a raffle. So we decided not to give away a specific cruise. I don't want to give you like a 3-day cruise from Florida if you're from the UK, because it doesn't really suit. So we're going to give away a cruise to the value of $3,000, and my travel agents will help book that. So that will be awesome. Is the Spirit still your favorite cruise ship? Yes, I'm so relieved, because this was the first cruise ship that I ever sailed on. And she's had $100 million worth of refit recently. And when I saw some of the pictures, like they had taken out the staircase that I liked in the middle of the atrium. And I talk about this staircase a lot in my content, so get ready for it. But they had replaced that with a TV. And I'm thinking, why did you replace my stairs with a TV, right? But it's very different to go on the cruise, because it completely changed the way that area was used. When I went on it before and it was a beautiful staircase, it was a beautiful staircase, but it was literally just a staircase. You just walked up and down it. That was it. Now it's a place, they've moved the stairs, so it's a place where they do trivia, they do game shows, people sit there, there's live music. I totally get why they did that, and it is so much better. But they've kind of made the cruise ship more adult as I've become more adult, which is very handy for me, very handy for me. How many cruises have you done to date? I have done 72 cruises. And someone asked me earlier, I had a meeting with Mercy Ships, and they asked me how many of those have I created content for? And it was on my 10th cruise that I started my website. So I cruised 10 times and then 62 cruises since then. I've been creating content. So yeah, crazy to think about. Hello to Paul and Carol who are in the chat. I see my dad is in the chat. I see Cruise Boys in here. It is so nice to see all of you. Jamie, Thomas. How was the weather in Asia? Asked Jamie. It was lovely. I was prepared for rain. I bought my raincoat. I bought some boots. Rolo ate my other boots, so I bought some new ones. But we didn't have rain. It was 20, 25 degrees Celsius every single day. And 28 degrees one day. So I'm really, really feeling the cold. Really feeling the cold. Yes, this is such a good point. Would love to do a cruise around Asia. It's the cost of the flights. Yes, the cost of a cruise in Asia. I mean, dare I say, sometimes it's cheaper than Europe, because there's a lot of repositioning cruises, stuff like that. But the flights, like you have to get there, you have to fly to Tokyo. When I did it the first time, we came back, we didn't do a direct flight, we had quite a long layover. And since then, I don't care. I'm only going direct. It was really, really not good to have that layover in the middle of the night. So it's still a 14 and a half hour flight. But if you can do that in one go, that's much better. Rich says, will Rolo be joining the live chat, please? Not today. I did have him on my meeting. I had a meeting with Jerome, who we write these books together, just before this. But it's very different when I'm doing a live stream. I can't risk him eating these Captain Hudson's, can I? Live on a live stream. And he would get, for an hour, he would get very restless. And yeah, I don't think he'd enjoy that. But at some point, yeah, we have so much to talk about in this live stream. I figure, another time we'll introduce Rolo. Will you be doing any more formal cruises? Classy Emma is my favorite Emma, says Phil. Yes, I do have another Cunard cruise booked, and I am releasing my Cunard content. So my most recent video I shared was the Cunard inside cabin. Everyone loves the inside cabins. It was a nice one, to be fair. It's one of the nicest I've had. But I am going to be bringing out the full video from that cruise. I also have the full video from the Uniworld cruise. If you remember, I did a Uniworld river cruise. And I had that cabin that was described as elegant and nostalgic. If anyone remembers that, elegant and nostalgic. Patterns everywhere. Patterns everywhere. Okay. Oh my goodness. There's so many questions in the chat. Thank you very, very much. I do see it is Black Friday. It is Black Friday. So I do have some cruise maps discounts I can tell you about. I do have Matt in here as well. Matt, my colleague and my friend from the cruise maps. And he can join us in a minute because he knows far more about all that stuff than me. Right. Any plans about cruising around Australia? I would love to. But the thought of getting off when I go to Japan or something, the thought of getting off and then getting on another flight, there's like another 8 hours. Oh my gosh. I'd love to. I would love to. But yeah, probably not while I'm sort of running the business that I'm running at the moment. It'd be quite tricky. Have you heard of the hack of having 2 inside cabins instead of 1 balcony? Yeah, I mean, it depends what you value, because if you really value outside space, that's worse for everyone. But quite often what we would do as a family, if I was cruising with my brother and my parents, they would get the balcony and we would get the inside cabin. We don't also need a balcony cabin when, if someone you're cruising with has one, you can use that for sailaways and stuff like that. But yeah, that I was very, very used to that. How is Hudson coping with the cold? Hudson couldn't care less. He doesn't really go outside very much. I have an electric blanket. I'm always underneath this, so Hudson or Rolo or both are always on my lap. But they're very, very happy. Very happy. Yes, David says, if you can put your question in capital letters and keep your questions short. Yes, that really helps me, just because I don't want to pause and sort of stop and read. But yeah, I see this, I picked that out. So I think that says quite a lot. Oh my goodness. Did you say it's Black Friday? Is Black Friday in the UK different than the US? I don't think so. Is it? I don't know. It is a day of sales, right? Right? Someone back me up on that. Yes. I don't know. Oh, some comments saying I'm too scruffy for Cunard. No one is too scruffy for Cunard. You don't, yeah, please don't feel like you're too scruffy to go on a Cunard cruise. That's not how it is. Black Friday is next week. Well, Black Friday is not like a Friday, is it? It's a time of year now, isn't it? Black Friday sales go on all the time. And isn't it today? I don't know. Black Friday is after Thanksgiving. Yeah, we don't have Thanksgiving in the UK, so yeah. But it tends to be November. That's what Black Friday is. Yeah, response. In the US, it's the day after Thanksgiving. Yes. Uniworld migraine cabin. Yes. I didn't get a migraine. I do suffer from migraines, but I could see that. Oh, what was your favorite thing about MSC World Europa? Oh, interesting. I had a really good cruise on that cruise. I cruised on there with my brother, and I went roller skating, and that's probably my favorite thing. It's just so weird to be roller skating on a cruise ship. I don't know. I only did it when we were docked, though, to be fair. I don't know if it's open when you're sailing, because that might be a bit something. I do have my giant teacup as well. It cools down nicely for the live streams. Oh, so many questions. Mark says, just received our cruise map this week from our Fred Olsen. Very nice. It was very good. Well impressed. Love that. Thank you very much. Also got version 5 Hudson on our return. So cute. I'm so glad. We do still have some Captain Hudsons available if you do want one. Once they are gone, they are gone. I don't know when we're going to get them back, or if we'll ever have this design back. And all the profits do go to Mercy Ships. So please, emmacruisesshop.com if you would like one of these. Here he is. Here's the version 5. Jamie says, I want to see Rolo skating in a Captain Hudson book. Oh my goodness. That is a lot. That is a lot. Isn't Black Friday a chance to fight over cheap TVs? I think maybe that's where it started, wasn't it? I've never fought for a cheap TV, but maybe that's where it started. Oh, we need more Rolo pics. If you go on my Instagram, I feel like I share videos and pictures of him every single day. I annoy people. People send me messages and they're like, I want more cruise stuff. Stop talking about cats. I'm sorry. Oh, Paul and Carol persuaded Paul to put up our Christmas tree tonight. Are you planning on putting your tree up soon? I don't know. I'm not getting a real tree this year because Rolo will just see that as food and snacks. So I do have a smaller fake one that I might put up. I do have some lights up already, but yeah, probably. I think December 1st is normally when I put up my Christmas stuff. But I'm glad you convinced Paul because I watched your live stream and I saw how much you wanted to do that. So we have a question, and I think this is a good one for me to bring Matt in on. I see Matt in the backstage room. Are you okay to come in, Matt? Give me a thumbs up if you're all right. He's good. Right. Let's put Matt side by side. There you are. Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well. Very well.
Nice. Matt has had a busy day. I know a lot of you know my UK travel agent team called Travel Counsellors. Matt has been up with them in Manchester today, right?
Yeah, Manchester for the day, Travel Counsellor conference, and then I've jumped into a WeWork to find space to take this call.
busy day, but yeah, nice. And also Matt has just got back from a cruise. I know we have Cunard questions in there, and that was quite an important one for you, I think.
Very, very short one. It was a bit of a taster for my wife, actually. She's her first cruise, so I was kind of selling it quite hard to her to try to get her a bit more on board with the concept. But I had an awesome time. We just went Amsterdam and back from Southampton.
Yeah, I was now that I have access to the Cruise Globe data and I can see how many times I've cruised out of Southampton, it is quite crazy. Do you want to have a look? I don't know. I tried to film. I think I can put us here and then put this on here. Look at this tech that I'm doing. This is really good for me.
This top end stuff.
But I tried to zoom in on some of the cruises that went to nowhere. See, look at that.
Yes. I think yours is going to be pretty busy around Southampton, that's for sure.
Yeah, because I did a lot of the cruises that went nowhere just after COVID when we couldn't go anywhere. So we went literally round and round in a circle. So cool.
Yeah, we need something for you on that one. That would be perfect.
Yeah, like that. Like that was my Disney cruise. I did a 3-day Disney cruise that literally went nowhere. But interesting to see. I had no idea where we went. It went well. Yeah, it was sold as a cruise to nowhere, which normally we don't do that. I'm sure people would do a Disney cruise to nowhere, even if that was a thing, but not so much a thing anymore. But still, cool to see. So yes, we have questions about about the album being available outside the UK, because I think the last time we spoke, maybe it was UK only, and now it is not.
Now got myself fully up to speed with customs and deliveries around the world and figured it all out. So it is now available worldwide, which is awesome, and we cover all the costs on packaging and shipping globally, and customs too. So it's like,
I feel like
the price is good.
Yeah, we've both been on that journey, because for the first time I've been sending my own Captain Hudsons, and my goodness, it is. You think you've learned something.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah, you think you've learned a thing, but then you haven't. Chris says, what does my map of my cancelled cruise look like? I haven't added that one yet. That is the one that would just be a dot, because we got on board.
You need to do that.
Add that one on there, but it is literally just going to be a dot in London, Tilbury, because well, I count it as a cruise because I got a cruise card and because I unpacked. Some people say that's not a cruise. I can't. I have a cruise card, right? It goes in my cruise card thing. So, yes. Okay, we have a question regarding the giveaway. So perhaps I will let you explain this one. What is it for? When does it end? And what countries apply?
Okay, so what's it for is, as you said, we need everyone's help with sharing this concept of the Cruise Globe. We think it's really cool. We think it's quite unique. So hopefully people agree and they want to sign up for the waitlist. It is going to be launched really early 2025 in the new year. And so we're running this giveaway till, we're going to pick a winner very, very early January. And it runs right through to the end of the year. Basically, all you have to do is once you sign up, you then get a sharing link, a unique link for you. And anyone who signs up with that link, so we'd like you to share that around. Anyone signs up with your specific unique link, that gives you one entry into a raffle, essentially, right? And then the winner of that raffle, which will be drawn at random, will get a free cruise up to the value of 3,000 US.
Yeah, and a proper good free cruise, because sometimes I see competitions where it's a free cruise, but it's a 2-night. You must be in Miami on October 12th, and like that's no use to me, right? So we didn't want to do that.
We don't want a ton of like stipulations on terms and conditions and stuff either. It's just really simple. 3,000. If you want to top that up to make it a longer one, then great. But we think we can
bring whoever you want. 3,000, yeah. If you want to put 4 people in that inside cabin, make the most of it. Go ahead. We don't mind.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Doesn't matter. Do what you like. So you have just come back from a cruise. Do you want to? It was Cunard, right?
Yeah, Cunard, Queen Victoria. Kind of what was that? 4 days, Amsterdam and back. Kind of a weird one because it was overnight in Amsterdam, and actually like 36 hours, so like a really long stint there, which is quite cool. Actually. I hadn't been there before. Well, I think I've been like as a baby once, but not.
Okay,
not
cool.
Meaningfully anyway. So it was a new one for me. A really cool city. Nice. Very rainy, but otherwise good.
And it'll be raining if you're at home, right? So it doesn't matter. You might as well be there.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's really, really cool. Very relaxing. I love Cunard for, like, I'm not a massive dressing up guy, but I find it super like peaceful on board. There's loads of spots for reading your book, and they have really nice libraries, and so I don't know.
Yes, they do basic things very well, as in you have space. A lot of cruise lines, I think, they're so focused on, I don't know, this new thing that is now so trendy and exciting that sometimes you put that in the space of just sitting by a pool, like just sitting in a lounge. And that's nice. That's nice to do. Oh, I have a question that says this has a big answer, but you did not explain what the cruise maps is.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
Take
I've been
that one.
doing this today to many people, so I will. The cruise maps is essentially the exact map of your cruise. So we use satellite tracking data from the ship to present the exact route. Every detour, every diversion, every missed port, it's all catered for. So you get the exact route, not the itinerary route. Loads of different styles, loads of different sizes and framing options. But yeah, I think that's a
that is good.
story,
yeah, you get to find out things that you didn't actually know happened on that cruise. Because I always think I'm going to do a little series on it, I think, and I'm going to do what I ordered, what I booked versus what I got in terms of itinerary. Because normally the itinerary is like bloop bloop, and then we've gone the other way. We've done.
It's amazing how often it changes. Yeah, like it's people, I think, don't realize how often it's different.
Yeah, I can see the common, because I've done many cruises to Bruges. If you're in the UK and you want a short cruise, it normally goes to Bruges, right?
You don't have too many options if you've got 4 days, right? So
it doesn't take a sea day to get from Southampton to Bruges. They don't need it, so they go the other direction. They come round, and I don't know all that much about shipping channels and stuff like that, but it's quite cool to see how they follow exactly the same path, different cruise lines, different years, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I was looking earlier, I did a cruise on Ventura, P&O's Ventura. We went down to the Canary Islands. It was just after COVID. It wasn't a cruise that I would have booked because it started with 3 sea days. And I thought Christmas, 3 sea days from Southampton, could be rough, right? And it was rough, and we couldn't get into the first port, but I can see on the map we came so close, right next to the pier. We tried, and then we went away again. I was asleep. I didn't know that happened.
But speaking of rough, haven't you got a winter transatlantic coming up? So
yeah, well, I cruised into the Arctic Circle, so you know, I just feel like there's other things at play, right? Some people say, why would you even go on a cruise if there's a 1% chance getting seasick? Well, you're never going to do anything then, are you? Like, it's worth it for so many other things. And, you know, I have done cruises in summer in the Mediterranean where I have had a terrible storm and felt seasick. Like, it's not guaranteed either way. So, yes. But normally I do avoid the cruises with the too many sea days. But transatlantic, that's something different, I think.
Bucket list, yeah.
Yeah. How far in the past does your cruise database go to be able to create a map?
To the start of 2015. I think this is one that's actually worth kind of digging into a bit more. The data exists from pretty much 2008 onwards in some form. Yeah, that's when it started becoming kind of mandatory for cruise ships to have this technology on board, right?
Yeah.
The period from 2008 to 2015 is just not great quality data. So we can't say, okay, we'll absolutely get your entirely accurate cruise for that period. We can sometimes make exceptions, and we can, with a bit of help from the itinerary, we can put something together for particularly special ones in that period.
Yeah.
But no, that's why we say 2015 is a cutoff, because we know that post 2015, which is as of January, 10 years, which is cool. But 10 years of data is really robust. It's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think of it as the cruise ship is sort of leaving like bloop, bloop, bloop little trails when it's cruising. That's what it is, isn't it?
Data points connected together. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. David says, does the globe show all the cruises together? I'm doing a few trips and it seems a bit messy. Selecting from the list to showcase each itinerary would be ideal. Hopefully I have an example of this. This was me spinning things around, but I'm pretty sure I click on different ones. So this is with everything just on the list. Please bear in mind, this is very much a test. What you're seeing now, this is, you know, not the final product, but I wanted to show you anyway. But yeah, obviously for me, it looks quite messy because I have everything. But if you click on one on that right-hand side, hopefully I'm going to do it. I was just looking at Australia and thinking I haven't been to Australia yet on there. But if you click on one, then it highlights that. And the other ones are sort of, you know, in the background at the minute. But Yeah,
We
it'll
definitely
zoom
have
in
the
on it.
ability to filter, switch ones on. I think eventually we wanted to say that like you could do all of your cruises on for particular lines. Would be really cool. Say all your Cunard cruises or your P&O cruises, etc. So they definitely want to make
Yeah,
it a bit clearer. But
for sure.
I think generally with the Globe as well, people I hope people bear with us a little bit because it's so new, it's so different. We are figuring it out as we go along as well, but we've
Yeah,
had
well, I don't.
awesome response. So
Yeah,
it's,
but you watching this, I don't want to not show you stuff till it's finished
yeah,
because this is this is the really interesting
yeah.
stuff, I think. And plus, I want you to see this and say stuff to us. If you see something you want or something you don't like, or you would automatically do something and it's not that, then please let us know because it's us looking at this, but we want all of you to look at it as well. So yeah, any thoughts? Send them to us, please.
We literally have a list, Emma, of all of the feedback that people have given, and so cool how many people have got in touch with. Wouldn't it be great if you had this, that, the other? And so, I mean, that's literally forming what we're building based on what people want. So that's really cool.
Yes. I just saw a question. It says, are you posting cruise videos? Yes, I posted one about 3 days ago. I'm pretty much every other week posting a cruise video. But the thing about YouTube is it's not going to tell you, and it's not going to show you. So if you can please give me your email address so I can email you when the new content comes out, that is the best thing. So please, emmacruises.com/news. That is where you can put it. And then I can tell you, because sometimes people say, you haven't published a video in months. Yes, I have. Like, I can't control if it gets to you or not, other than an email. That's the only way I can guarantee. So yeah, please let me have your email address. I send one email a week. And it's a summary. So I'll be sending one out today. It'll say my latest YouTube video is the Cunard Inside Cabin that I just did, the Queen Anne one. So you can go and see that. Oh, Neil would like different coloured lines by cruise line. That would be quite cool.
Noted.
Yeah, we'll, cool. Yeah, we're planning on adding, sort of statistics and things, because I think it's very interesting to know how many different cruise lines you've been on. I want to know, like, how many of everyone added. Am I the top at this or whatever else? So we'll be adding in things like that, which will be very cool. Oh, we have a couple of comments that say not getting the email. If you don't have the email, if you're already on the list and you haven't got the one today, please check your spam, because it probably is in your spam. If not, if you can just email hello@thecruisemaps.com. I think that's probably the easiest place, right?
Yeah, and it's a little staggered as well. So it was 3 p.m. today, so it might be a little staggered across the next couple of hours. So if you haven't got it tomorrow, then definitely email hello@thecruisemaps and I'll sort it out for you.
Yeah, because it's a custom link to every single person. So you can't just get someone else to send the email, because then you'll be getting them entries into the cruise, which, if you want to, you can do that. But yeah, is this an app or a website?
Initially a website. So it's going to be, when we launch, it's going to be something you can log into as a website. Totally appreciate that eventually needs to be an app, obviously travel based, that's the best experience. That's very much on the cards for next year. But we need to see how people like it first, and hopefully everyone loves it and has a good reason to go and build that app.
Yeah, there's some lovely comments in here saying this globe is amazing and I'm thrilled to be a part of this. Thanks so much, David. That's how I feel. It's so exciting. I get to let out all of my cruise ship nerdy stuff, which is really cool. We do have questions about river cruises. This is always a popular one. Can we add river cruises on there?
I am banging this drum at the cruise map. Don't you worry. This is first task in 2025. The reason behind this is just it's really a lot more tricky, frankly, to do. And also, we made a very conscious decision on the cruise maps not to include every place name. We felt the design was actually better just labeling the ports you stopped at. But of course, that doesn't quite work in the same way on a river cruise, because you don't have the context of a coastline. So we are getting too into the weeds of it, but it's quite tricky, and the visuals are harder to represent. So working on it. Very, very hopeful for early 2025. We figure this one out. So yeah. I think about some of the river cruises I've taken, like the one I recently did in Venice. I don't know how many miles we sailed total in that week, but it was maybe 4 hours of sailing over a week. So that's very, very tricky, I imagine, to map. It's not quite as A to B. It's sort of it's counterintuitive, isn't it? It sounds like it would be easier because there's fewer places to go, but it's a little more tricky, which is.
And it popped up in my spam. Yes, please check your spam. Please, things that are not spam always go into spam. Yeah, happens to me all the time. My mum says, haven't got your email yet today, Emma. I haven't sent it yet. I'm going to send it after this live stream just because I wanted everything to be live. I wanted our Black Friday deals to be live. And then everything's just nicely end of the week, into the weekend, all tied up. So we do have Black Friday deals, don't we, on the cruise maps side? If people
absolutely confuse people with UK versus US. Black Friday is absolutely the same day, both places, but we just thought we'd give 10 days of it for people, so they don't have to be in a rush. But so we started today. We will end on the 2nd of December. So 10 days.
Yeah.
2 deals. For those 10 days, you can get 25% off any framed map. Again, these are automatic deals. So like if you put them in, if you put a frame map into your cart, it'll just automatically apply. You don't need to have any discount codes or anything like that. So you've got the 25% off frame maps.
Yep.
Then the one that's really cool, I think personally, is the ability to start a collection. So a free cruise album if you buy your first 3 album size maps. So add 3 album size maps to your cart, add the album to your cart, the album will be free. So yeah, 10 days ending end of December 2nd.
I don't think of Black Friday as a day. I think of it as a time of the year.
Someone said in the comments that it's like it's become longer and longer, and the deals have become worse. And it has definitely become longer. I hope these deals. I mean, these are literally the best we can do. So
I think this is very different because the prices that we have are the prices we have, and we've never gone this low. Probably never will. But it's not like on Amazon when they put up the price for 2 months and then they bring it down. Sometimes the deals are not deals, but this really is, because I have my album print here from my most recent cruise, and look at the colors on that. That's you should use this as a promotional one. This is beautiful. Look at that, because we only had 1 sea day, so we went down to those islands down there, if you can see those. So that's the only place that we had a sea day. But what a lovely pattern that is, like yeah. So I'm working on my collection, but I'm going to need a couple of albums for all of mine.
Emma, I saw one thing in the comment that I just want to quickly address.
Please.
Some people are getting confused with this, but with the Globe waitlist, signing up to the Cruise Globe, you're also asked to add cruises. You don't have to do that at all. It's just, if you do, then they'll be waiting for you when you get exclusive early access to the Cruise Globe. It's a little rough and ready, the system there. So there might be a couple of ships missing. It might not be the most seamless. Bear with us. When you actually get access to the Globe, it is going to be way more streamlined, adding all your cruises in. I've had some people saying, I want to add 50 cruises in, and it's not that well set up for it at the moment. We will figure it out, but
you can. And people have added a lot, haven't they? You can. You absolutely can.
Some people have added like 40, and God bless them, but it is a little tough at the moment. We know that, and it will get a lot better. Yeah.
Well, it's just nice to have something when you log in that something's already going to be there rather than just looking at an empty globe. But that's just if you have time, if you know your dates. It's taken me a long time to work out the dates of things, because I did sometimes I did in maybe 2019 3 days of a part of a press trip, something like that. Trying to work that out is kind of hard. So I do have my full list now, which Jamie says, do you have any plans to pull in live ship tracking data?
Awesome question. And absolutely, that's like the next big thing we want to do. We had some awesome feedback from people saying that wouldn't it be great if you could track other people. Obviously, we know there's a cruise mapper, and so this isn't as new as what we're building with Cruise Globe, but I think it's the logical next step to have live and historical in the same platform. That and like the social element, I think is kind of like quite the next step, really, is the ability to see your friends, see other people, see live historical. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, how good if you're thinking about going to a port and I can see, for example, my friends, Paul and Carol, Cruise Boys, other people who've already been there, and then I can say, oh, I see you were there in 2022. That would be very, very helpful. That would be really, really good. So 2015 is how far back we can go guaranteed. We have worked on some before that. If someone has, something you want to just email us, we can see. It's not a definitely no, but definitely yes from that onwards.
It's a really good point with the globe, right? Is that the cruise globe? A lot of people have said, well, if I can only go back to 2015, then I started cruising in 2001, and so it won't be my whole history of cruising. We do get that. What we're trying to work on after we launch is going to be a way that we can represent on the map on your globe those older cruises. I mean, unfortunately, the satellite data isn't going to just turn up, right? It doesn't exist. So it will be a predicted route, but we want a situation where those can be represented as well, because I think it does kind of suck if you can only have half your history, right? So
especially if you're working on your top princess cruiser badge and you've actually got some more. You need them in the list, right? You don't want to miss them out.
No one likes to be cut short, right? Exactly.
No, we'll get there, but as we say, this is a work in progress, and
absolutely.
Will the Cruise Globe show nautical miles traveled and total nautical miles traveled through all cruises?
Absolutely. That's from day one. Something we're going to show.
I was looking earlier at mine and at what is my shortest and what is my longest cruise. So my shortest was the Disney Magic, the 3-day cruise to nowhere, because we went round in circles. It was like 400 miles. And my longest was the Ventura down to the Canary Islands and back, which I don't know if I would have picked that one. Closely followed by Singapore to Tokyo. They're about 4,500 miles. So, but it's nice you can just see that. Otherwise, I have absolutely no idea. Cruise Boys say, I think an easy win would be a thicker book because we will run out quickly.
Oh, the album. So it holds 25 maps in total. It is designed for 25, so doubling up would kind of make it a bit too... wouldn't sit too well on the shelf. It's a fair point. I think we haven't had anyone to fill up one yet, so... that is sort of a little challenge. The first person, we have said, the first person to fill one album can get the second one for free. I'm very happy to abide by that, but they won't have yet. So
we'll get there. Like a you get a passport with extra pages if you're going to travel a lot. Be like that, right?
Have to think about that one.
Good point is, wouldn't your shortest cruise be 0 miles? So we'll add that on there, and then my shortest will be 0. Other people hoping to get further on their ambassador cruises than me. Yes, lots of people like ambassador. I've not been back since that cruise, not for any reason. It's not like I'm avoiding it. I wasn't so put off by that experience of the 8 hours on board that I'm not doing it. There's just so many things to do. There's so many places to go, and I don't know. I will get there at some point. I'm interested. It'll be a good story, won't it? It'll be like, I was counting down to 8 hours. Would we get past dinner this time? That kind of thing.
Can only improve.
Yeah. Oh, that was a sad cruise for you. Well, it was great fun, really. The way I see that cruise is it was a free dinner and a nice evening with my friends. Right? Like, it wasn't what I expected.
Pretty enduring story as well.
Yeah, great story, brilliant YouTube video. It wasn't what I expected, but the Cruise Boys here, they drove me there. I didn't even drive myself to the port, so I had to drive home. It was a bit weird to unpack again, like all your clean clothes. But it was all right. It was okay. Lots of people want me to do ambassador. Maybe. Gosh. We have questions about what has been the most surprising port that we've been to. My goodness. I don't think I'm surprised because I do so much research into everything. I know how many minutes it's going to take me to walk into town. I know where all the public toilets are. I know everything. So I'm not really surprised. You surprised?
I mean, I certainly haven't been to as many, but no, I've not been surprised yet.
Or a unique experience. Well, I've done lots of unique experiences for each different place, I suppose. If I think about Norway, I've done dog sledding, stuff like that. You wouldn't do that on a Caribbean cruise or in the Mediterranean. My favorite place to go is definitely Asia, Japan, my last cruise. That's my ideal sort of cruise itinerary. And there, you can just go to a vending machine and sit in a park, and that's the best day of my life. So it's so good. It's so good. Oh yeah, people say Cadiz is surprisingly nice. Yeah, it's surprising that I suppose sometimes I'll be surprised when people say, "Oh, there's nothing to do in this port. It's terrible." As long as it's nice to wander around, like I don't think my expectations are. I don't think I yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I read reviews. I love reading reviews, but I only really read them when I come back from a cruise. I love going on Cruise Critic. I got straight back from my cruise on Norwegian Spirit, went on Cruise Critic to see what everyone else is saying. I will say 99% of the complaints are things that if you had a good travel agent, they would fix. That's what I think. But sometimes I saw one and it was like a stain that was under the sofa and they'd like climbed under to like take a picture. And I was like, geez, if this
Wow.
person was in my house, like Rolo was chewing the skirting board, it came off the wall earlier. Like, like, yeah. Yeah, David asked about can you double up on the maps in the album? And I wouldn't suggest it just because this is designed to be that thick. So if you had more in it, it would just be a bit like.
Yeah, the prints are on quite thick paper. They're all like almost
Yeah.
cut. So
Wait, can you hear
if
it?
you 25 more of them in, making it 50. I mean, it physically would fit, but
Yeah.
it would be a bit.
Yeah, you can do it, but we're not accepting any like any
There's
liability.
absolutely nothing to stop you, though.
No, we're not gonna tell you what to do. You can put if you want to slide your cruise cards in, like stuff like that. Go ahead. People do that.
Yeah.
That's very, very cool.
I've seen people making because obviously if it's one-sided, you can see the back of the print, right? I have seen people actually writing gently so it doesn't come through, but some notes about who's on the back. So
yeah, that's cute. Like yeah, because they have on them, you know, it has the dates of the cruise and the ship and whatever you want, and then you can have a title on it. But yeah, write on it who went,
like who they went with and things like that.
Aww,
but,
that's really sweet. That's really
nice.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. It says a full cruise album would be over $1,000. True. That's why we thought we'd do the Black Friday deal so you can kickstart, and then every time you go on a cruise, it's not that much money. That's what we're thinking. So yes, if you have a lot of cruises, yeah.
Plus, when you get the album, there is a discount code in there, a secret that allows you pretty chunky amount off every future.
So I think that's it's a lot of money, but that's a really nice. Most people don't have that problem. That's a really nice problem to have. So, yes. Oh my goodness, so many questions. I thought I got to the bottom, but then it's jumped all the way back down. I've never done a Trans-Pacific cruise. I can't comment on that one. And when did I start doing Britishisms in videos? I mean, I've always said British things in videos. It's not a thing. But when did I start explaining them? Probably since the pandemic. I think it made a regular thing. But it's just based on the questions. I don't know. I don't seek out Britishisms. Same for the live streams. You tell me what they are. You say, Emma, what was that? Like when I say stuff like, oh, we'll get it sorted or something. I said the other day, and people are like, what? Fix it. Like maybe in the US, you say sort it, like get it sorted. I don't know. People always question me. But then people also say, oh, Emma does that. Must be a British thing. And I'm like, no, don't bring down all the British people just because I do something.
What is your favorite Britishism though? Like what's the go-to?
I think it's things like higgledy-piggledy.
That sounds completely bad to anyone.
It does. And people ask me to explain, and then I'm like, well, I can't. I can't. Yeah, I genuinely can't. There's so many, like, that you wouldn't even think about that you just say in conversation. Like, the other day I said, wind your neck in.
Again,
how do you explain that? Yeah. Yeah, straightened out. Yeah, straightened out. Same sort of thing. Yeah, we don't do Thanksgiving in the UK. We don't do that. So yeah, I learn a lot about it. But no, we don't have it. We don't have it. Have you ever seen anything on a cruise which you felt you needed to comment to the cruise line? Oh, I have been on a few sort of excursions where that wasn't what it said on the thing, and I've sort of gone to reception and said, you know, that wasn't what I was expecting, that kind of thing. I've been really only when things have gone wrong, like the air conditioning is broken or something like that. But generally, as long as something is what it's promised, that's kind of my main thing. As long as you get what you signed up for, then I think that's fine. But sometimes, sometimes things change. Or, I did an excursion recently. It was supposed to be, I think, 20 people, and they had 40 people on that tour, and it did not work with 40. It was too many. So just saying, just so you know, like, I just want to say. And once the lady at reception said I was good at feedback. So I was like, thank you. but that's things that they can change. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't go on a ship and be like, oh, I hate the decor of this place. Like, what is the person going to do there? I hear people at reception saying, oh, they're too colorful, the carpet. What are they going to do? They just work here, right? So if it's not helpful, then I wouldn't say it. Okay. Oh my gosh. Does Cruise Globe support less known lines? Talking about AIDA, or however you pronounce that one.
Yeah, so every cruise ship in the world will have the data that's required to put it in. So AIS data. If it's not in the list, it should be and can be. So tell us. But yeah, it will absolutely include every cruise ship, no matter how big or small.
Yeah, as long as it is popping out that data, we have access to it. So yes, but yeah, please let us know, because you're the ones who would know if you find something. So
we do get a lot of questions about can you do my uncle's sailing boat kind of thing, and like that's where we have to draw.
That's fair.
It has to be a cruise ship.
Yeah, that's fair. Roger says, interesting one I just saw earlier about NCL doing a lot of cancellations. I saw they cancelled, I think, 3 of their ships for early 2026, as in 2 months of itineraries just gone. Are they fixing their older ships? Maybe. The ship that I was just on was the oldest NCL ship, but if you looked at them, you wouldn't know that that's the oldest ship, because she's had a lot of money spent on her. So if they were to take, I think it's Dawn, Pearl maybe. We've been on Pearl a long time ago. If they were to take those and bring them up to the same, more modern standard, I think that's probably a good idea. So yeah, maybe. At least it's quite far in advance. I always get scared when I get the thing saying cruise cancellations, that it's going to be, maybe it's from the pandemic, but we kept getting them every single month. Lots of people saying they have signed up. That is amazing. It should be very easy to sign up. All we need is your email address. So if you have already signed up for the waitlist, and I've been sort of teasing it for a while, you should have an email, and it will have a unique sharing link in there. If not, if you just go to thecruiseglobe.com, put in your email address, it'll just automatically send you that straight away. So you don't have to wait. You can start sharing it. And yeah, I really hope whoever goes on this cruise that we give away will tell us about it and send some pictures and stuff, because I'm really curious what they will pick. Like, if you just gave someone $3,000, what do they do with it? I don't know. Interesting. We will see. Apparently, Bob's your uncle is a favorite Britishism. Bob's your uncle. I don't know that I really say that one that often, but yeah, that's pretty common. Things like piece of cake, like stuff that's really just very normal to us, but I just say it and then people ask me what it means. Things like saying like worktop instead of countertop, stuff like that. In the kitchen, we would say the worktop, but I don't know till someone else tells me something like that.
I heard one the other day actually that I hadn't ever heard before as a British person, which was strange. I'd never heard spend a penny.
Really? Isn't that a really like hundreds of years old phrase?
Yeah, it's an old one, right? So that's why I hadn't heard it. But
How funny.
Never heard it.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, I've heard that one my whole life. Where have you been?
I think it was maybe the childhood in Hong Kong. We didn't get them.
Yeah, maybe you missed out those like vital little bits. Oh, good question from Chris. He says, "What cruise would you pick? What cruise would you pick, Matt? If I gave you $3,000 right now?"
Oh, I have not done Alaska and would absolutely love to do that. So
nice.
Start of the season, straight into Alaska, I think, for me.
Yes, definitely recommend start of the season. I did it maybe second week of the season, and we still were there normally with one other cruise ship, but when we were there they would say, oh well, in summer there'll be 5 ships here or something, so it was nice to have it a bit quieter. Not that I took my first cruise to Alaska, I was 11, but I wasn't really thinking about the other cruise ships or paying any attention. What would I pick? Oh, the most asked question that I see every single live stream and every single time I do anything on the internet is, Emma, are you going to go on Icon of the Seas? So maybe I would do Icon of the Seas. Because if it was someone else's money, I could probably justify spending that money on it. I don't know how long you'd get for $3,000 for 2 days. I don't know. But anyway, that would be very interesting. Just signed up with the link. I hope all my friends sign up. I'd love to win a cruise. Thank you. You are very welcome. Yeah, we tried to think what would you like and give you that thing. So yeah, I'm glad you like it. I mean, I'm very excited. Very excited. It gives us a thing to look forward to in the new year as well, which normally January is just miserable, isn't it? It's cold, it's raining, no one has any money. But this is free. This website is free, completely free. So perfect. Yes. There's some weird Britishisms in here. I don't think I've seen all the Britishisms that are around. I don't know if some of them are actually true or not. Lots of people saying I would do Hawaii or the Canary Islands. Very nice. That would be nice. Hawaii is so much further away than I think it is every single time. Canary Islands, fine. Although I would always fly to the Canary Islands now after my cruise that I took. It is this one, but you can't see it because all you see is my lights because it's so shiny. But I went down from Southampton to the Canary Islands. And it's a long distance to the Canary Islands. I know it is in my mind, but it's like 3 sea days, 4 sea days, something like that. So I would fly. Personally, I would fly. Will I try MSC World America? I would like to. I've done World Europa, and this is kind of the new version of that. So I could go roller skating again. That would be pretty cool. Yes. Yeah, apparently people think Hawaii is just off the coast. Yeah, it is not just off the coast. It's a long way. Apparently, spend a penny is now spend a pound. Yeah, pretty much. Although they did make all the toilets free in train stations, so you didn't have to spend anything. Have your guts for garters? Interesting.
Feels like an old one too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? But still, we would know. We would know what it means at least. Emma's great grandparents used to say, "Spend a penny." There you go. It's been passed down. Any jobs going at the cruise maps? It sounds fun.
Always. We've got 5 joining before Christmas. So yeah,
we are busy. We are busy, which is so good. So good. Can you enter without ever having done a cruise? Yes, it does not matter if you've not done a cruise. It is just the act of sharing that with someone else who joins. That's it. You don't have to add any cruises. You don't have to do anything. Once you're on the list, we appreciate your feedback and your ideas, of course, but you don't have to do a single thing. And then we'll just let you know when it's ready and you can play around with it. And then, yeah, I can't wait to see everybody's. I'm sure we're going to have some competitions going on. I can already see it. Of who has the longest cruise. You know, we made one the other day. It was 103 days, wasn't it? World cruise.
Yeah, huge. Yeah. That's
very impressive. Very, very impressive. I think I will still win the shortest cruise for 0 months. We have to add that one. I really want to. I want to see that.
Yeah, it's on my list now.
Thank you. It's just going to be a dot though. That's going to be it. But just when I click on the side and it zooms into London Tilbury, that would be quite funny. Are there any extras on a cruise aside from Wi-Fi that you feel are worth the money? Oh, I did something on my last cruise that was $99, and I think it was worth every single dollar. And that's a lot of money, $99, I think. But it was a behind-the-scenes tour that took 2 hours, and we went to places like the laundry, which just to be allowed in the laundry, that is the coolest thing in the world. And to go to the galley and to see on the walls, they had all the pictures of every single dish they make. This is how the carrots are supposed to be positioned and stuff like that. I think that was fabulous. I do get a cut down version of that tour. I have the highest loyalty status with Norwegian as I started it when I was 11. But this one was the full in-depth behind the theater in the engine room. You normally don't get to go in an engine. Well, it's the control room. You don't get to mess around with the actual engines. But even still, very interesting. Very interesting. Yes, I think obviously some drinks. It's not really fun to be on a cruise if you always have to go to the buffet to get a cup of tea. But for me, just soda is fine. I do not get the value out of my drinks package. My last cruise, I had a drinks package because it was included. But if I had bought that package, it was like $1,000. And I had maybe 1 or 2 alcoholic drinks a day. So I'm terrible at getting value out of drinks packages. So a soda package and something like a behind the scenes tour. I think that would be it. David says, I can't get my link at all. Do you have the email? If you don't have the email, I mean, maybe it just hasn't come to you yet. But if not, please email us and we'll just send it directly back to you. And then hopefully it won't go into spam because we're replying to your email. So
yeah,
yes.
hello@thecruisemaps.com.
Yeah. How many people can go on this giveaway? If you mean go on the cruise, that is up to you. It doesn't matter. If you mean enter the giveaway, as many people want to enter the giveaway as want to enter the giveaway. That is it. There's no limit on entering it. But yeah, if you want to do a really nice cruise, if I give you $3,000 and you want to do a nice solo cruise, go ahead. If you want to squish everyone together, feel free. Whatever you'd like. Question, how long has your hair got? It's got this long, but it is interesting to watch my YouTube videos over the years where my hair goes how I date things. But yeah, and no one seems to know, especially because my YouTube videos on YouTube they're in chronological order, but on Facebook I'm sharing all kinds of stuff. So people are always like, I love the new haircut. Like this is not my new haircut. But yeah, my hair is growing a fair length at the moment. Do we prefer mega ships or smaller, older ships? Been on a couple of smaller ships, but daunted to try newer ships. Oh, good question. I would say don't be daunted, but just be aware that the mega ships are like 4 ships stuck together. So if you want to walk to the other end, it's just going to take you double the time. If you look at a new big mega ship, this is the ship, and this amount is just cabins in the middle, right? You still basically have at the top a buffet, a lounge, a pool deck, the normal stuff, and then lower down you'll have a theater, a main dining room, stuff like that. Just because you're on a big ship, it doesn't really feel that different. It just feels like it's just more of the same. People are just more spread out. So it depends how you feel about, sometimes if you're going up to the buffet, then it'll be 12 flights of stairs. If you want to walk that, there are elevators, of course, you can take them. But I would say don't be daunted. It's not different. They'll just have 4 main dining rooms instead of 1 main dining room. Yeah. So yeah, I get why people are scared, but don't be scared. Kevin says, how do I enter the giveaway? I missed the start of the live. I'll let you take this one.
Yeah, so you enter it just purely by signing up to the Cruise Globe, and then you'll get a sharing link sent to you by email. If you send that link to anyone and they sign up to the Cruise Globe waitlist, you will have entered. That will be 1 entry, and then obviously the more entries you have, the more chance you have of winning.
Yeah, easy peasy. Tried to make it as easy as possible. So hopefully it's nice and easy. We have 3 minutes left in this live stream. Is that right? Yes. We have 3 minutes left in the live stream. Oh my goodness. I always doubt it when I'm on here. I'm like, is there 60 minutes in an hour? Yes. Wow, this has gone really, really fast. So the main things we wanted to tell you about, let's just recap, make sure we're saying everything, is our Black Friday deals. We know it's not Black Friday. We've learned that now. But we have Black Friday deals. We have a discount on all of the framed maps that you see here. And we have a discount if you get 3 album prints for your cruise album, you get an album. So you start your collection if you've done 3 cruises with them. They can also be cruises in the future, right? It doesn't have to be cruises that you've already done. You can order them for the future. So I think
2 years in advance. So you can pre-order up to 2 years in advance. Obviously, we can only make them when the cruise happens because of the data. So they just kind of a nice surprise when you get back. I've got that actually for the Queen Victoria one from last week. I just got the shipping notification, so it's nice to know that's on its way. I'd ordered it, even me. But yeah, all those discounts are totally automatic. You don't need to have a code or anything. Just pop things in your cart and you'll see it out there.
Fabulous, easy peasy. And yes, please join our wait list. Please let us know things as well. I know you might think, oh, I'm sure they've already thought of this or they've already heard it. It doesn't matter. And we're keeping everything. Even if you say the same thing as someone else, the fact that you've said it makes us think people want this thing and we want to make what you want. So please, if you have any thoughts, let us know. Yes, and the links are all in the description if you want to find those there. Jack says, this wasn't from a bathtub, but this was a wonderful live chat. So, this is my new benchmark. People are saying to me, Emma, you need to do a bathtub live stream on every cruise. That requires me to have a bath on every cruise, which my next cruise, I'm back in an inside cabin again. And I don't have any Bath cruises booked, but it was amazing. It was everything that I had ever imagined, and a great place for a live stream. Yeah. Carol says, "Thanks for the stream, Emma and Matt. You're very welcome. And do you get one entry for providing your email, or must another person join for you to get one?"
You do need to share it with someone else to get one.
Yes.
But hopefully everyone can find one person to sign up. Hopefully, yeah.
I think so. Or among you guys in the comments, so you can,
Absolutely, yeah.
Go in our Facebook group if you want. Go in our Facebook group. Just search Emma Cruises on Facebook. It's called Emma Cruises and Captain Hudson's Adventures. There are some ones that are called Emma Cruises Crypto something. Don't join that. That's not me. But there are some there. Don't join those. Join the big one. And yeah, just if you want to share your link in there, that'll be fantastic. Someone else will click on it. No problem. Yeah. Very exciting. All right, so it is the end of this live stream. Thank you very much for joining me, Matt. I wasn't planning on making you stay the entire time, but it's nice to talk to you. So brilliant. All right, well, nice to speak to you all. I will be here the same time next week, 5 p.m. UK, 12 p.m. Eastern time, and I look forward to talking to you. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. Yes, have a great weekend. Okay, bye, guys.
Cheers.